You said, I think, 4 times in your last meeting, and each one made your idea sound like a guess instead of a recommendation.
Wait, hold on. Every time? Even when I actually wasn't sure?
Here's the trick. There are 7 phrases that say it better, and one of them is the I'm not actually sure version. Stick around. Welcome to Say It in English, the podcast that helps you communicate with confidence in professional English. I'm Lexi.
And I'm Tom. And apparently, I have a problem.
You and about a million other professionals. Look, I think is one of those phrases that feels safe. It feels polite, like you're not being too pushy, but in a business context, it almost always works against you. So today, we're going to hear why, and then we're going to fix it.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I want you to listen to 3 sentences. These are from a fictional meeting. Just listen to how they land. Ready?
Go ahead.
I think we should move the launch date. I think the client might be okay with a smaller scope. I think this strategy could work.
Wait, hold on. Did 3 sentences just make me feel tired?
That's exactly the effect. Each one of those sounds like the speaker isn't fully behind their own idea, like they're asking for permission rather than making a recommendation. And here's the thing. In a real meeting room, people pick up on that. They start treating your ideas like rough drafts.
Right, yeah. You can hear the hesitation, even if the idea itself is solid.
Exactly. The idea is not the problem, the packaging is. So the key insight for today is this. The right replacement for I think depends on what you're actually trying to do. Are you recommending, disagreeing, predicting, agreeing? Each situation has a better phrase. Think of it as a small mental menu. 7 options, 7 different jobs. Let's go through them one by one.
A menu. I like that.
Number 1 is for when you're recommending an action. This is one of the most common situations in business communication. You have a view, you want people to follow it. The weak version sounds like this. Tom, give me an I think recommendation.
I think we should restructure the project timeline.
I'd recommend we restructure the project timeline. Same words after the opener, but completely different energy. I'd recommend positions you as someone who has analyzed the situation and arrived at a conclusion. In real meetings, that phrase alone changes how seriously your idea gets taken. You move from observer to advisor.
It's not aggressive, it just sounds decided.
That's the word, decided. And that's what people respond to in a professional environment. All right, number 2 is yours, Tom.
Number 2, disagreeing politely. And I want to flag this one because a lot of non-native speakers avoid disagreeing in English altogether. They just go quiet, which is basically disappearing from the meeting.
Right, and silence reads as agreement.
Exactly. So the weak version sounds like, Lexi, say something I can push back on.
I think we should launch in all markets at the same time.
I'd push back on that because we haven't finished localizing for 3 of those markets, so the user experience won't be consistent, and we risk a poor first impression. That's it. You're not saying no, you're saying here's why that creates a problem. The phrase I'd push back on that because is direct, professional, and crucially, it demands a response. It starts a real conversation instead of just creating awkward silence.
And the because is doing a lot of work there. You're not just disagreeing, you're reasoning out loud.
Bold move, soft landing. That's the goal.
Number 3 is for giving a confident opinion. Not a recommendation, not a prediction, just your view on something. And here's the trick. The phrase, from where I'm standing, frames your opinion as a position, something you've arrived at through experience or observation. It implies you've been watching this situation. Let me demo both sides. Tom, weak version.
I think the new pricing model is going to confuse customers.
From where I'm standing, the new pricing model is going to confuse customers. Same concern, but now it sounds like a senior person speaking, someone who's seen pricing rollouts go wrong before. In real meetings, opinions that sound like positions get more airtime. People engage with them differently.
It also feels harder to dismiss. Like, if you want to argue with it, you have to actually argue with it.
Exactly, you've claimed the floor. Now, Tom, number 4 is yours.
Number 4, predicting an outcome. This comes up constantly in business. Forecasts, projections, strategy discussions, and when you say, I think sales will go up next quarter, it sounds like a coin toss. But I expect we'll see an increase in sales next quarter. That's a projection. That implies data. That implies you've been tracking something.
There's weight to it.
Right. In real emails, especially anything going to leadership, this distinction matters more than people realize. I expect we'll see stronger engagement once the onboarding changes go live. That's a sentence a senior analyst writes. It opens a door for a follow-up question, which means it starts a smarter conversation. I think closes it down.
Good one. Okay, number 5. This one is short and I love it because people underestimate it. It's for agreeing with someone, but in a way that adds real weight instead of just nodding. The phrase is, that tracks with what I'm seeing too.
Oh, that's a strong one.
Right? So imagine a colleague says, customer retention has been slipping over the past 2 months. Instead of, yeah, I think so too, which adds nothing, you say, that tracks with what I'm seeing too. Now you're not just agreeing, you're corroborating. You're saying, my own data or experience confirms yours. It makes you a co-analyst in the room, not just a yes person. And it's conversational. It doesn't feel formal or stiff.
And it pulls you into the conversation. Like you've just declared that you're paying attention and you have something to contribute.
In real meetings, that phrase makes you visible, even if you haven't said much else. All right, Tom, number 6.
Number 6, proposing a solution. And this is the one that reminds me of that one colleague who, okay, I have to tell the story.
Oh, no.
Every single sentence, every single one. I think we should try this approach. I think maybe if we shifted the budget. I think potentially perhaps we could consider. By sentence 4, you genuinely could not tell if he was proposing something or just processing his breakfast out loud.
That's the danger. You don't want your ideas to sound like rough drafts being read aloud in real time.
Exactly. So instead of, I think we could try a different approach here, you say, what if we tried a different approach here? That shift is subtle, but it matters. What if we tried keeps the collaborative spirit. It invites the room in, but it sounds intentional, like someone who actually has an idea, not someone hoping one might show up.
It's great for brainstorming sessions, especially. Exploratory, but confident. You're not demanding approval, you're proposing.
Bold move. Soft landing. Again.
You have a catchphrase now.
Okay, real talk. Before we get to number 7, I have to say something. Because I don't want people walking away thinking I think is completely banned from the English language.
Go on.
Sometimes you're genuinely uncertain. You don't know the answer. You have a gut feeling, a hunch, but not the data yet. And in that situation, pretending you have a strong position is actually worse than admitting you're unsure, right?
100%. Honesty in uncertainty is a professional quality. In real meetings, faking confidence on something you don't know and then being wrong is far more damaging than saying, I'm not fully sure yet. And that's exactly when alternative number 7 fits.
Right, so number 7 isn't a weakness, it's the honest version.
Exactly. Number 7 is for sharing a genuine hunch, when you have a read on a situation, but you can't back it up with hard evidence yet. The phrase is, my read on this is that. So instead of, I think the team might be getting overloaded, which sounds vague and anxious, you say, my read on this is that the team is close to capacity. Same uncertainty, but now it sounds like professional intuition, not passive worry. You're naming it deliberately. You're claiming it.
So the difference between my read on this is and I think when you're unsure is really about intent. One's chosen. One's just
habit.
That's it. And habits are the hardest things to change, which is exactly why we practice. So, 7 alternatives. Let's run them all back fast so they stick.
Let's do it.
I'd recommend we.
I'd push back on that because
From where I'm standing,
Number 4, predicting an outcome. I expect we'll see.
That tracks with what I'm seeing too.
what if we tried?
and number 7, sharing a genuine hunch. My read on this is 7 phrases, 7 different jobs, not one universal swap. A menu. Pick the one that matches what you're actually trying to say. And once you start hearing I think in meetings, in emails, in presentations, in your own sentences, you can't unhear it.
That's the episode. And here's your homework. Don't try all 7 at once. Pick one. Use it this week. See what happens.
And here's a tool to help you get comfortable with these phrases before you use them live. Pick one of these 7 phrases and search it on YouGlish. You'll hear real native speakers use it in 10 seconds, completely free.
And to be clear, we're not sponsored by YouGlish. We just think it's the fastest way to hear a phrase in real context. You'll hear it in job interviews, in TED Talks, in boardrooms. That's how you train your ear.
We're Say It in English. If this episode helped you, share it with one person who says I think a little more than they should. You know who they are.
I think you do.
See you next episode.